This week's episode features our volunteer peer mentor scheme, a new scheme launched this summer by the Trust. A volunteer peer mentor is somebody who uses their personal experience as a service user to develop meaningful and trusting relationships with people, acting as a mentor. As somebody who successfully managed their own recovery, the volunteer peer mentor provides people with an example of what they can strive and aim for in their own recovery. In this edition, we hear from Julie and Chris, who are the volunteer peer mentor trainers, as well as a selection of some of our initial cohort of peer mentors themselves.
My name's Julie Richardson. I work down at Hillcrest Street there in Hanley and manage the STR team. This is my colleague, Christine.
Chris Melbourne.
Chris also works on the STR team down at Hillcrest Street. So, some time ago, Veronica Emlyn asked Chris and myself if we would be part of delivering the peer mentor training. And the reason for that is because both of us have had some teaching experience before, and so we were really pleased to be asked and glad to be part of this, because peer mentoring is something that we both really believe in and think it's a fantastic initiative for the Trust.
For me, it's very important that anybody should have training opportunities made available to them, so it doesn't matter about age, ability, disability. Everybody has the right to learn. So for me, being able to deliver training to peer mentors is the best of all worlds, so that's why I do it.
So a peer mentor is a person with a lived experience of mental health issues, and the idea is that that person acts as a mentor and a role model to other people who might be patients currently or might be in another place within their recovery and mental health. So peer mentors can act as a role model, and by mutual exchange of experiences they can inspire hope in the people that they're actually mentoring, if that makes sense.
So people with lived experience are in this unique position because, if you like, they know a little bit about what it feels like, far more than maybe I would or a staff nurse on the ward would. So it makes sense to us that these people are out there talking about their own recovery to show people that it's possible for everybody. Maybe when you're in a dark place, you don't see that. So this is living proof that things can get better.
This is the pilot scheme, if you like. So today what we're hoping to do is get some feedback as well from the mentors around the delivery of the training, and then we hope to start a second cohort in October, and we will adapt that accordingly depending on the feedback that we've had. But peer mentoring, we really believe in it. Within our service, within the recovery and resettlement team based at Hillcrest Street, we've been employing people with a lived experience of mental health issues for a number of years, and so we've been able to see the benefits of that, and that's why we believe in it, and we're so passionate about it, really.
And of course it's not just Trust service users that are doing this training, it's also open to our partnership organisations, so it really is across the board for everybody. It's not purely for the Trust. We work closely with Brighter Futures in our day-to-day work at the Recovery and Resettlement team, and actually where this is being filmed today is a Brighter Futures clubhouse based in Hanley, so we really do all look in together.
There's a volunteer coordinator, Veronica, and Veronica will be matching up mentors with different work placements, if you like, and whilst they're on placement, the mentors will get supervision from an allocated person, so they'll meet up every 6 weeks, so there'll be plenty of support there in place. And besides that, the volunteer coordinator meets with them as a group on a very regular basis anyway. Originally we recruited 16, There's one or two people who haven't been able to complete for various reasons. Things happen in life, but those people are picking up additional courses, or the modules that they missed within the next cohort. As far as the mentors themselves, both of us have been really impressed with the standard, really, with the knowledge that people have already, and how they've embraced this learning, and they're really keen and eager to learn more, really. So that's been really good for ourselves, because when you're delivering training, to have people who are motivated is just a great thing.
We hope it carries on, really. We both, as we've said before, we're both passionate about this, so for us, we are here, and we want volunteers, we want mentors to come and get on the future cohorts, really, to carry it on. We don't want it to be a 5-minute wonder. We want it to carry on.
We want this to carry on year on year, and so yes, this is the launch, really, of the peer mentor scheme. But what we're hoping is that in years to come, that peer mentors will just be part of every service within our organisation.
And ideally we'll have peer mentors delivering this training in the future.
Absolutely. And peer mentors who are volunteers, the aim for those people will be that they become employed as paid members of staff within the organisation. And so what that will mean for us is that we will be promoting recovery values in a realistic and positive way. It couldn't be better.
No, I think it is. It's more prevalent that word is getting around how beneficial this is. So I really don't think we're the only trust. We're one of several, I think, across the country that are taking this approach.
It's been a pleasure being part of this. We're both really proud to be part of this peer mentor training, and hopefully we will continue to deliver this. Hopefully we'll generate some further interest via the website, via the Trust website and the podcasts, etc., and so that more people with lived experience might be motivated to become mentors and volunteers within our organisation.
I think somebody upstairs did say actually it's a way of some good coming out of what was a bad situation.
This is going to be publicised. It will be out there. Both of our contact details are there, so anyone can contact us via the website and come along for a chat. Come along for an informal chat, and we'll go over the course. It's very informal learning, so there's no exams or tests or anything like that, and it's all done in a way. In a shared learning environment, the idea is that we all learn off each other. Chris and myself have learned off the mentors this time, so we always learn something.
Every set of training we always learn something.
Yeah, so people learn off each other. It's a shared learning environment.
Okay, I'm Chris. I heard about the peer mentor scheme through Veronica, the volunteer coordinator. I decided to do it because I wanted to give something back to the community, because I've been through the services myself and I thought, people could benefit from it. So what about you, Jane?
Mine was exactly the same. I've been through the system and stuff like that, and I just wanted to give back, and it's given me really good confidence, being able to be a mentor.
So how long's the scheme been running so far? I know we're at the last day.
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Yeah.
And what kind of things have you learned so far?
I've learned a lot about myself, as well as diagnoses, learned about self-care, which is really important. I realised I didn't really practice it before. We got given a little booklet, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's like a RAP plan, like wellness, something, can't remember what RAP stands for, but it's basically like you reflect on your own learning and look at your triggers and things like that, and we can use that booklet to help us when when we're mentoring in the future. Yeah, I think having someone that, I appreciate people that have studied and they're in a profession, but there's always that expert by experience knowledge that a lot of people that have studied the profession in medicine, they don't really have that. Some people may do, but it's just a different edge that you wouldn't have before. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
More approachable for sure, because you can relate to them more. You can talk about experiences, and they can say, "Oh, I had that experience as well, and this helped me, or this didn't help me," kind of thing.
The learning and the languaging and stuff like that, the communication, I think I've learned a lot more about that. I also talk to the patient.
Okay.
Like we've done a bit about anti-discrimination and anti-stigma.
Yeah,
that was in
yeah.
one of the modules. That was really useful. We just had a module on communication. So with that module, we're looking at you'd think it was common sense, but you go into a lot more detail of it, and you realise things like your body language and just being approachable and open-minded and things like that. You learn a lot on the course. Like Jane said, it's boosts our confidence firstly, just like being able to just having a conversation with a service user, for example, feel a lot more confident in doing that. But we've also learned a lot about, like I said before, different diagnoses which I think gives you a bit of context. So it makes it more comfortable in that environment. Like there's a lot of diagnoses that I only know about my own personal experiences. I have a little bit of knowledge about the different types of diagnoses, but we've gone into each one with a bit more detail, and we've learned a lot.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and we've also done scenario work as well. So if we've done scenarios where you're looking at as if something comes up that does relate to you, how would you deal with it? And so we've done the scenarios, and we're a lot more prepared now if something does come up. I assume we'll be shadowing to begin with, and then we probably will get paired up with someone, yeah.
I volunteer for early intervention, so I'm already doing some sort of volunteering. So this is going to help me loads. I'm working part-time.
I've just got a job with the NHS in a peer mentor role. So it's works out perfectly for me.
Oh yeah, thanks for all that you've done for me, because I've done a course with them before, and they're brilliant teachers.
Yeah, they're so mindful and just like
down to earth.
Yeah, ace lecturers.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually Veronica who mentioned the peer mentoring there, and I think she could talk me into jumping out of a plane with a lead parachute. I think she's really nice, and for some reason I thought I'll give it a shot. All I am is just a gardener at the Arklands. That's all I do. And all of a sudden I'm doing a course for peer mentoring, and it's a all new experience.
My name's Jackie, and I started off volunteering with the early intervention team, and there were a few changes, so that went a bit quiet, and then Veronica thought it would be a good idea for me to do the peer mentor scheme. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a new challenge, a bit scary, but the course has been great, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've all got on really, really well.
Definitely an eye-opener, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's that?
Learning it. I think there's two things we've learned. I think the first one is that there's so much we don't know, and then we've also learned so much that we do know and we haven't realised, and it's been very interesting. It's just a basic skills, isn't it? Yeah, communication and...
communication's a big part of it, and empathy. Being sensitive to people's needs and situations. And I don't know. I just think it's generally been a really good learning curve, and Julie and Chris have been amazing.
Yeah,
they're so down to earth, and as I say, we've all just got on really well as a group, and it's just been really, really nice, but really educational as well. For me, I think the idea was, I'm coming from this from more of a carer's point of view. And I think Veronica was thinking that it would be helpful to me, you know, in that role. As I say, I work with the early intervention team with the carers side, but she seemed to think that that would be, you know, an asset for me. So I am looking forward to it. It is a bit scary, isn't it? But I'm sure we'll be fine, because at the end of the day, we're just being ourselves. We've got a better understanding from being with one another, haven't we? And, you know, we're a bit more empathetic to how people feel and what they think. And I don't know, I think it'll just be interesting.
I think you need somebody who's been through the mill. I think it does help, and it just gives them a bit more understanding, a bit more hope. Actually, if they've come through, then why can't I? So that's sort of how it comes across. It should be able to help them. It'll be tough, but I think it'll work. I didn't think I'd be able to. I've got autism, and sometimes I really do struggle with it. I didn't really think I'd be able to do this at all. I was really, negative about it. But now I've done this, it's sort of more glasses are full with it.
It's given you confidence, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah. When I was thinking about doing peer mentoring with another because I work on another project called Growth Point, and they got service users, and I was thinking about maybe peer mentoring one of the service users, or anyone at the Arplands.
But I just think it's nice for people out there who are going through mental illness to know that there's somebody they can speak to who's got an understanding. You know, I know every case is different, but I just think, you know, for me personally, where it's my son that's ill, and you know, when he first became ill, I would have given anything just to be able to speak to somebody who knew what I was going through, and that wasn't the case at the time. And I just think, you know, if I can give something back in that way, then I've done what I set out to do. It's a tough route, and mental illness is, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy for the people that are ill. It's not easy for the people that care for them. But you can get through things, and you know, life goes on.
Give it a go. It's worth it. It is worth it. I was a bit iffy about it, but now I've done it, I thought, it's worth it. It's worth a crack. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I agree, definitely. I was unsure when Veronica asked me, and I don't know if that's for me. But I've really looked forward to coming every week, and I would say to anybody, definitely give it a go. It's well worth it.
I'm glad I've done it.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, it's all been really, really interesting, and it's certainly changed my perception on things now. I urge anyone, just give it a go. It's really good. It's really good. If a gardener can do it, yeah. A few years ago, if someone had asked me, you know, do you want to, you're going to be working for the Arplands, you're going to do peer mentoring, I'd looked in the face and just laughed at them. But how things change with time.
That's good, isn't it, to know, and for people to know that things can change.
We hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the volunteer peer mentor schemes, including hearing from people who are about to go on to be volunteer peer mentors themselves. In a later episode, we'll be going back to find out what was the experience of those both being the mentors and those who were supported. Thanks very much for listening.